Hey guys, welcome back. I was just telling about this wonderful message that I got from the webinar that was hosted by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, where both of them spoke about so many wonderful things. But the one thing that really stood out for me was this: turn your mess into your message. This is something that I have also been telling in my way to all my students, but I think the way they put it was so awesome, which I really want to share with you guys with some live examples of people whom I have come across. So what is this mess into your message? It's all about taking all those setbacks and adversities and low points in your life where your life was in deep shit, but you somehow managed, you somehow overcame those challenges, and you have reached a certain level of success right now. A lot of times we undermine our own success. We think, oh, that's not a big deal, and we don't really talk about it. We think, oh, those were, bad times in my life, and why should I really talk about it? But the more you talk about it, the more you can help those people who are currently going through that bad time. I was giving you an example of Sindhu, who's my friend, who lost 20 kgs after she delivered her baby due to her particular diet she followed called LCHF. Now she has not just started teaching people about this. She has a salad business, a home delivery business based on this, and she's also written 2 cookbooks based on that diet. So that was a mess in her life, that is her weight gain, but she turned that into a success and into her message. Another good example is my friend Kerry Bajaj. So Kerry is a mom of 2 kids. Her kids are about the same age almost as my kids, and she has recently written a book called Sleep Baby Sleep. Now most moms and even dads can relate to this, right? When your kids are infants, it's like months and months of sleepless nights for parents, and it's a real big task to put the kids to sleep. And somehow we all kind of figure out our own way to do this for our kids, but we think that, oh, this is not a big deal, all parents go through this, and we just forget about it. But what Kerry did, which is really outstanding, is that she took that challenge that she had in her life, and she really went deep in understanding what were the lessons that she learned, which she implemented in her life, which gave her better results, which made her kids sleep better. And she packaged that into a book. And this is how, you can just take whatever you've learned in your life and really package that into a message and help other people. That's all. That's what it's all about. And this mess could be in any area of your life. I was just talking about Sindhu. She did for her health, right? And I have a good friend and client, Neeraj. So Neeraj has this book called Zero Debt. So what happened to Neeraj was, for about 10 years, he was in deep debt. He had all kinds of loans and EMIs and bank outstandings. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it. How many of you have some kind of debt and it's really bothering your mind, right? We've all been through it, or at least we know people who are going through it. And this is a common problem. But what's different about Neeraj is that he did not keep it to himself. He overcame that problem. Thanks, Pratigya, for understanding this and finding it so relatable, right? All of us have our own set of problems. So what Neeraj did was, he somehow worked on this, overcame that challenge, and today he has zero debts. But he didn't stop there. He wanted to share this with so many other people, and he wrote it in the form of a book. And not just that, by doing this, you can actually flip your career. I know so many people who work for 20 years in IT companies, who work for 25 years as professors. So they've really spent a lot of time in their life in one particular profession, but some challenge happens in their life. They go through some kind of adversity, and they then take that adversity and they decide that I should help people going through the same problem, and then they make that into their career. So this is what turning your mess into your message is all about. Let me quickly give you a couple of more examples. This can be used for your relationships as well. A good friend of mine, Vidya, who's also my student now, she went through a very tough period in her life when she was going through her divorce. And that was the time when she was totally depressed. She didn't know what to do, whom to go to for help. But somehow she overcame that. And not just that, she's now married for the second time, and she's super happy right now in her life. Now what she's doing is, she understood that this is a common problem. People go through tough marriages, but life does not end there. They can overcome it. They can part ways, and now they can find another good partner for them. Okay guys, this is going to be my third and final attempt at Facebook Live today. I think my system automatically shuts down the live if it goes beyond 5 minutes. So let me keep this short and conclude what I was trying to say. I was talking about how can you turn your mess into your message, and I was giving examples of people who've done that in different areas of their life, be it going through a divorce, going through cancer, going through weight loss of more than 20 kgs, or it could be something as simple as teaching your kid how to do potty inside the toilet, or it could be making sure your kid sleeps peacefully throughout the night. It could be anything. But if you've gone through a challenge and if you've used some new ideas to overcome that challenge, then it is your duty to take those lessons and teach all those people out there who are going through that challenge. And you could teach that by becoming a coach, becoming an author, conducting trainings, or doing anything, but just go out there and teach people. Now, what stops most people is, first of all, they think that, oh, mine is not a big challenge. Who is going to find it useful enough? That's the first thing that stops people. However small or big your challenge is, there are people out there who are going through the same thing, and it's our duty as people who've done it to go and help those people. All right, that's the first mind block. The second mind block that people have is, I am not an expert at this. I don't have a degree in this subject. How can I teach about weight loss? I'm not a trained fitness trainer. I am not a dietitian. How can I without a PhD, who will listen to me? The good news, guys, is that times have changed. If you want to learn something, if you want to overcome a challenge, nowadays people don't really go out and look for people who have a qualified degree in that subject. All they want is a trusted person who has been there, who has done that, who has the intention to help people. So if I want to learn anything for that matter, if I say want to learn how to set up a website, I would not go and find somebody who necessarily has an agency to do that. I can just call up a friend who has just done it last week and who has shared it on Facebook, right? So that's how people have started thinking, and that's a very progressive way of thinking, because you don't really rely on people with certificates and degrees anymore. You just want to really connect with human beings who are kind enough to share their journey and who've been there and whom you want to just learn from. So that's how people have shifted their mindset. So I think as experts, even if you don't believe you're an expert, if you've gone through a challenge and if you've successfully overcome that, then in my eyes, you're already an expert. So if you are that, then I think you should just go ahead and start sharing it with more people. Turn your mess into your message. And the best part of doing this is, you could be an IT professional, you could be a professor, you could be in any industry, you could be a doctor. So, but if you feel that your message is more powerful, it's more compelling than your current job, then by making this as your career, you can actually switch your career. I have seen so many people do this. They could be practicing a particular profession for 25, 30 years, but suddenly they would have met with an accident, and that could be the changing point in their life. After that accident, they would have started living a healthier life, living a more meaningful life, and now they want to probably teach meditation to people so that they don't get stressed and they don't meet with accidents. So that's how your life can change. So never undermine all the challenges that you've been through. Go back and see, when was the time when you were in the deepest shit? When was the time when you had the biggest mess? And from that, try to derive your message and teach that message to the world. And if you want to do that using a book, by writing your own book, then I can help you do that. Come tomorrow for my live webinar at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, where I'm going to be talking to you about the 3 secrets that can help you to position yourself as a trusted expert in your industry in just 7 days. Okay, I'm going to help you how to turn on your author switch and position yourself as a trusted author in your industry in 7 days. That's my big promise to you. So if you're interested in that, or if you know a friend whom you think should write a book, then please share this live webinar with them. I've also left the link to that webinar registration page on this post. So please share that. Please come on my live webinar and we'll have lots of fun. Okay. So just remember, you have the ability to turn your mess into your message. With that, I'll say goodbye for now. I'll see you next week with yet another live. Bye-bye.